I'm Tyler Thompson, I'm 18 years old, and I'm a snowboarder.
To me, snowboarding is not about being the best. It's about being outdoors, hanging out with my friends, and outdoing each other. Snowboarding is an indescribable feeling. It's like you're floating, flying, and surfing in the air. I always thought this feeling could only be found in the snow, until I discovered freeboarding. Freeboarding is a relatively new sport, similar to skateboarding with a modified setup. It's snowboarding without the snow. Anacortes, Washington is my home. Filled with empty streets to ride, this island is a paradise. Carpeted with lush forest, crowned with a mountain, and surrounded by windswept seas, which provide endless opportunity for adventure. But this story is not about me. It's about the people who have helped shape my life. It's about my friends and mentors who have generously passed their experience, skills, and knowledge of outdoor sports to me. This is a film about love, the love of adventure.
Even when my luck is down, I take joy in knowing that our love grows. But if my vices are a burden, please don't let me off. Cast me from your home.
Ever since I could walk, I could run. It was a sport that came naturally to me. But running around a track wasn't enough. I needed a challenge.
My name is Eric Bone. I'm 37 years old, and I'm a runner and an orienteer.
I've known Eric my whole life. He's my cousin and a friend. I've always known that Eric was a runner, but until now, I didn't know his story.
What inspired me to become a runner was honestly getting to school on time. I often found myself leaving a little later than I should have been and just hoofing it to school. From the time I was a kid, I really liked the outdoors. Just the feeling of moving through the world, whether it's the natural world or just around the city. When I discovered orienteering and really running before that, those were both a way for me to see more outdoors. Orienteering is something that I discovered in high school, my sophomore year, and it is a sport of cross-country running, but instead of having a marked course, you actually have to navigate to a series of checkpoints that are marked on a map that you get at the start.
Orienteering has brought Eric great success over the years. He's represented the United States at a dozen world championships. Today, he won the event, but sustained an injury, not ideal for his national cross-country race the next week.
On your mark.
Yeah, so I was about 2 minutes slower than I expected to be today, but you know, you have to take the bad with the good in racing, and if you knew how you're going to do, then you wouldn't need to come race. So.
Eric has taught me that running is not always about how you place, but about the passion and drive to push yourself further.
I hardly ever finish a run without just being in a better frame of mind than I started, and I really love that about it.
Anacortes Forestlands is home to over 50 miles of trails, perfect not only for running, but for biking as well.
My name's Matt Wallace. I live here in Anacortes, and I'm a mountain biker.
Matt has been a family friend for years. He is a teacher and a dedicated father. Mountain biking became a passion for Matt when he was in high school. The sport was just beginning. Matt has found the balance between parenting, work, and pursuing his passion.
I guess my inspiration is just getting out in the forest and having fun, enjoying myself. Living here in Anacortes, I really like the fact that we're so close. We can get out easily and just go have a great time. My cyclocross bike is basically a road bike with cantilever brakes, and the tires are slightly wider than road tires, and they have a little bit of tread on them. I just like riding fast. I like the challenge. I really like trying to keep up with the younger guys who ride fast. A lot of younger guys have a lot better motor than I do, but the fun thing about mountain biking is if your skills are really good, you can generally keep up with somebody who's got a lot better heart than you. You just have to be smarter than them.
Matt has taught me that if there's something you're passionate about, you can always make time to do it. While mountain biking is all about endurance and speed, rock climbing requires a different kind of focus.
My name's Peter, and I'm a rock climber.
I first met Peter when he photographed my family portrait. Running a business and raising 2 little girls makes for long days. Peter finds release in climbing.
Welcome to my heart and soul, miserable excuse to tell the world of all the pain I've caused. I hope you don't.
When you're climbing, it's kind of like this 3 foot as far as you can reach. You know, all of a sudden your world becomes very intense. And I like that. When I start a climb, there's always a little bit of kind of anticipation, little butterflies in your stomach, because you don't know what exactly is ahead of you. And there's kind of that aspect of danger, kind of that little question, like, what if? Mount Erie is great to climb on simply because I live in Anacortes. The thing about Erie is that you can look out your window and be like, it's going to be great for the next couple hours, and I can be on Mount Erie in 15 minutes. When you stand back and look at the climb, yeah, you're kind of trying to pick a line up the rock, and it takes a trained eye to see it. I think a lot of people who haven't climbed before might just look at the rock and the cliff and be like, oh, there's no way you can do that. I think the reason I climb and the reason I like it so much is because everything becomes so much more simple. You're with people who kind of have the same mindset.
Peter has taught me how to climb stronger and safer by focusing on my objective.
There is, a real consequence to what you're doing, and it makes you feel alive.
I've never been afraid of heights, but the power of water has always scared me.
I'm Chris Conroy, and I'm a whitewater kayaker.
Chris has lived in adventure his whole life, doing every sport I have ever had interest in. He introduced me to whitewater kayaking, his favorite sport of them all.
The first time I ever kayaked it's like no other sport out there. It's fantastic. I grew up in the water. I think it's a real attachment to the water. It doesn't ever scare me, even if it's, even if it really should. Unlike a lot of sports, you're in a dynamic medium. Your control factor is limited to the power of the river. You can't overpower the river, you can't overrun it. It's fairly strategic. It has a lot of thought. Things come up on you fast, and you have to react to it. This place, Deception Pass, is a nice spot for me to come that's close to my house, and it's got some eddies and some strong currents and whirlpools. And it's a fun place to play. It's not a river, but it's good enough.
Deception Pass is home to some of the strongest currents in Washington State. 2 million cubic feet of water flow through the oceanic pass every day, creating a standing wave perfect for playboating.
Playboating is sitting in one spot and trying to do as many tricks as possible out of that spot.
Kayaking with Chris has taught me how to ride the current by learning to accept its power instead of fighting.
Kayaking it's really a connection to the nature that's untamed and very wild and unpredictable. I really enjoy that.
Throughout the making of this film, I have learned more about myself and my friends than I'd ever expected. I've come to realize that we all have our own loves.
The love of discovery.
Love for challenge.
I really have a love of speed and the wind.
And the love of water.
A love of exploring.
And a love for the achievement.
These 4 men have helped me to discover my love, the love of adventure. Find yours.